All right, ladies and gentlemen, we just got back from a fantastic reading of One Piece. Now it's time for a new reading of One Punch Man. And obviously, it's not showing the next time we get a chapter, so there you go. But let's go ahead and get the formalities out of the way, shall we? Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to yet another live One Punch Man chapter reaction and review. Last we left out on the series, we saw a bunch of other heroes doing a whole bunch of other things, like Child Emperor speaking with Phoenix Man, now known as Chick Man, because his power is massively decreased. And we also see Super Alloy Black Luster, who is literally struggling to find reasons to fight anymore. Even him working out no longer has the same feel because his muscles that he was so proud of, that he gained over the course of his life, he completely lost them. Well, not completely lost them, but they were scarred. His almost impenetrable body was, penetrated by acid, by President Barf, or President Ugly, or President Barfman. Whatever name he had, he was disgusting. But ever since then, he has never been the same. His chest is still scarred from the acid. His hands are scarred from the acid. And he's just in such a state that he's literally broken. He's a literal broken man right now. And even Captain Mizuki's looking on him, and she's concerned for Alloy. She's concerned for Black Luster. Then we cut to other heroes such as Tank Top Master, who's like training with his group, and they go against these big tree monsters that are rampaging through the city. And then Genos shows up with a new upgraded body that allows him to contend with pretty much all the tree people and the giant ent, giant tree beard that's in the area, and he just completely eviscerates them, which causes Tank Top Master to be even more driven to prove that the power of the Tank Top is greater than Tornado and Genos, the power of psychics and the power of cybernetics. So that's what happened in the last chapter. Like everyone is just minding their own business, trying to be heroes. Because we see Tank Top Master, we see Flashy Flash trying to find out where Oculette is. Black Luster is massively depressed. And Genos saving Tank Top Master and his group and blasting them all. And that's the last we saw from that chapter. So let's move on to chapter 184. Chapter 184, Turning Point. Oh, this is a nice art here at the front. It's like a 8-bit art. Like if we were playing like an old NES game or a Sega Genesis type game. It's art of Saitama walking down the street. And we cut to Genos, who's speaking to Saitama. Master, I see you have a new dwelling. Yeah, my old place got trashed. Shall I request a bigger room from the Hero Association? Nah, I asked for a small one. I'm comfy this way. Very well. I will bring my things tomorrow. Perhaps I can have that corner. Wait. Yes? This is smaller than my old place, so there's no room for the both of us. Do not worry. I only need space to sit. Treat me like decor. No, that's creepy. Master, I am your pupil. But watching me at home won't teach you anything. That is not true, as Genos brings out literally everything he's written since he stayed with Saitama in this big old pile of notebooks. He's still taking notes. By the way, I have a request. May we spar again? Oh! Wow, how long has it been? How long has it been since Genos sparred with Saitama? The result will probably more or less be the same. But how long has it been since Genos sparred with Saitama? And that's the moment where we all knew that Saitama was just a whole nother level. He was him. He was that guy. He exudes Black Air Force energy of the most nonchalant degree. The moment he sparred with Genos, it was all like, wow. We saw the power of Saitama. He literally split a mountain and he burrowed through an entire mountain range with just the shockwave of his punch. Not his actual punch, just the shockwave of him punching towards the face of Genos, and the resulting shockwave bored a hole through a whole mountain range and then split the clouds above that mountain range. And Genos wants to spar with him after all that time. By the way, I have a request. May we spar again? Sure. I was just thinking about going on patrol. Let's find an open space. And then they go outside, and Genos is just following Saitama. Monsters are everywhere these days. They're easier to find than great stag beetles. Yes. I defeated one earlier today. How's this spot? Okay. And then Genos starts charging up. All right. Here goes. And then we see Genos and his body charging up, like his new body just charging up even more differently than before. I would love the first animation team that did the first season of One Punch Man to do the animation of this fight between Saitama and Genos. And he charges up as he goes, Lightning Nucleus. Whoa, that's bright. And then Genos launches at Saitama. And then, while Genos' fist gets closer and closer to Saitama, Saitama's eyes are all like, oh, because it's so bright. His face is literally drawn that way. And then as it looks like Genos hits Saitama, Genos stops. Genos stops just like Saitama did when he wanted him to experience his serious punch, or at least the feeling of it. Genos stops, and then the whole area behind Saitama explodes, just like Saitama did way back when. Such a callback. Oh, I love that. I actually love that. That's actually sick. I love the callback to that what was it? I think it was either like the first or second volume of One Punch Man. It's such a callback to that. And he stops just shy of hitting Saitama in the face, just like Saitama did all those years ago. Huh? Why'd you stop? Aren't we gonna fight? And then Saitama says this, and the whole area behind Saitama is destroyed. What? Hold on. They were in a whole mountain range with mountains all around them. And then Genos punches in the direction of Saitama and stops shy of hitting him. There's a massive shockwave, and then there's this long, almost mile-long cloud of dust as the entire area behind Saitama is utterly destroyed from Genos' shockwave. Y'all didn't have to give me this type of chapter today. Y'all didn't have to give me this type of chapter today. Ravi, good to see you. No, it is unnecessary. Besides, it would only soil your clothes. Can I ask you something, Master? Do you think I am stronger now? Well, you got new parts, so you must be, right? But does changing parts lead to true strength? You seem bummed today. As his master, I should offer encouragement. And then Saitama's face goes all serious and, expertly drawn. Genos, that shiny, glowy, flashy thingy you just did was super bright. I don't know if you're stronger, but you are brighter. I got nothing! And then Genos is just thinking about it. Master closed his eyes, but not only because I was bright. He was also unimpressed with my strength. And then it cuts to Genos looking down at a stag beetle that's just, I think it's a dung beetle, just moving right next to him, like making a ball right next to him. He was not even looking at me, because I am not worth noticing. No, that's not it, Genos. It's just that you were very bright. Like your lightning nucleus literally blinded him. I have been his pupil for over 2 months. But I doubt he has noticed any progress at all. You mean to tell me that the timeline for One Punch Man the current timeline for One Punch Man has just been over 2 months? This series has been serialized for years! And only 2 months have passed! I'm sorry, I can't get over that. All this time we spent with Saitama and literally everyone, all the events, Boros, the Monsters Association, Psychos, Orochi, Cosmic Fear Garo, all of these things all happened within 2 months. That's ridiculous! I have been his pupil for over 2 months, but I doubt he has noticed any progress at all. Indeed, I myself am aware that I have not even risen to the level of his feet. My stagnation is undeniable. I am weak, so you encouraged me to reach the top 10 of the hero rankings, but I have realized that I am competing at a level far beneath your own. At this rate, I will never achieve the strength I seek, so I have been considering a change of environment. A new hero organization is forming. It is called Neo Heroes. Yo, we get the name of the new organization! Neo Heroes! I assume you have heard of it. Nope. In response to the monster threat, the Tycoon Agoni called for political and financial circles to create the Heroes Association, which is the older gentleman whose grandson Saitama saved before Saitama's hair fell out from Crablante. But 4 years later, its practices and management structure have fallen under question. Not only have some heroes caused immense destruction, but leaks to the media have revealed embezzlement of donations, among other scandals. Presently, the association is pushing commercials and biased reporting to improve its image. I'll smush you. LOL. But the scandals that will be leaked soon could prove to be fatal, and scandals could prove. But the scandals that will be leaked soon could prove to be fatal, and scandals could prove fatal. That whole sentence just threw me off. If nothing changes, the Hero Association may collapse. You sure know a lot. Where'd you hear all that? Thus, a new organization of heroes known as Neo Heroes has arisen. Hold on. Denim is very vocal today. If nothing changes, the Heroes Association may collapse. You sure know a lot. Where'd you hear all that? Thus, a new organization of heroes known as Neo Heroes has arisen. It has already headhunted Heroes Association personnel and prepared anti-monster systems to go with excellent treatment of its members. They say that they intend to be a better hero organization by applying HA know-how while avoiding applying Heroes Association know-how while avoiding Heroes Association's mistakes. Someone said that? Who? A scout for Neo Heroes. It will call its heroes Neo Heroes instead of Pro Heroes, and it already has over 2,000 candidates compared to Heroes Association's 600 Pro Heroes. It has approached all the association's finest heroes, and even some from Class S may change membership. It never hit me up! Many heroes who remained in the shadows before will come to light. Perhaps I can learn from them how to become stronger. Janos, you wanted to get stronger for revenge, right? Yes, I must defeat the unidentified cyborg that stole everything from me 4 years ago. Is that cyborg even still alive? Maybe somebody already wasted it. Records since the establishment of Hero Association contain no such incident, but accounts of the attack remain, and the monster is still listed as a designated heinous monster. Yeah, but maybe I wasted it. That rampaging cyborg had abominable strength. You might be able to defeat it, but you would remember it as one of your most dreadful opponents. I don't know, man. I barely remember my kills. Can you beat that cyborg now? I do not know. However, should our paths ever cross, I must win at all costs. For that reason, I may join Neo Heroes. For real? Well, good luck with that. Neo Heroes also asked me to recommend any outstanding heroes for its ranks. Would you be interested in joining Neo Heroes? And Saitama doesn't say anything. My recommendation should guarantee good treatment. After all, Heroes Association still fails to recognize your worth. What do you say? And Saitama still doesn't say anything. Nah, I'm good. Sounds like a hassle. Then I will not do it either. And then, just because Saitama says, like, nah, it just feels like a whole bunch of extra. Because I feel, and that's the end of the chapter. That's the end of the chapter, because I feel like Genos looks at LOL 2 months, it's slower than One Piece. Seriously! Seriously! Seriously, all the events of One Punch Man have transpired a little over a month. Not counting flashbacks, everything that's happened in One Punch Man has transpired over the course of slightly over 2 months. But a full year has not even passed. And we've had space pirates coming to destroy civilizations. We've had a god literally grant power to people in the Monsters Association just so they could destroy the Heroes Association. We've had planet busters. We've had reality warpers. We've had extinction level event meteors come down. We've had all sorts of things happen, including a being who became powerful enough to pretty much almost kill everyone on Earth because he was exuding that much space radiation. And Saitama fought him. And then we had Orochi, a monster king that fused with Psychos and threatened to destroy everyone. But all of that happened within 2 months. All of that happened a little over 2 months. That knowledge just blew my mind. It really did just blow my mind. Because I would have thought that, oh man, so much time has passed ever since all this stuff is happening, but now we actually get a time frame for One Punch Man. It's like all this crazy stuff that happened over in One Punch Man ever since it started, all the way up until now, only happened in January and February. But we still got 10 more months worth of time left, worth of insanity, and everything we've seen thus far, the craziest stuff that we've seen in this story, only happened over 2 months. That's insane. One Punch Man's world is way too dangerous. Oh yeah, it's a lot more dangerous than the One Piece world. It's a lot more dangerous. Because you get people threatening the world on a regular basis. Even Psychos with her, super wide laser beam sliced off a ginormous portion of the Earth with just the beam itself. It makes me curious how long the Monsters Association arc was. Let me look that up. It's the 15th arc of One Punch Man, and it lasted from chapters 53 to 94. Well, webcomic chapters 53 to 94. Manga volume 15 and still ongoing, apparently. Manga chapters 78 through 170. Anime episodes, episode 21 is still ongoing. So I don't know how. So if we're going by time-wise, I don't know how long the Monsters Association was in universe time. But as far as how long it was actually taking, it was a hot minute since those chapters have been out. Hold on. Let me pull that page back up. Let me pull that page back up again. I mean, in the One Punch Man world. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's see. It doesn't say anything about how long it takes. Let me go down to the bottom. Maybe there's some info about trivia. Story impact. It says, yeah. Yeah, all it says is it's the Monsters Association arc is currently the longest arc of the manga, consisting of at least 14 volumes so far. It doesn't say anything about what the time frame actually is since the start of the whole Monsters Association deal all the way until its end. It doesn't give that. At the time of its conclusion, the arc was over half the length of the entire manga, with 77 chapters being released prior to this arc, and the Monsters Association arc consisting of over 90 chapters. So that's facts about the chapters themselves, but as far as, like, in universe, I'm trying to look that up. Yeah, the Monsters Association arc itself took 5 years. 5 years and 91 chapters. 5 years and 91 chapters! I don't even think we were in Dressrosa that long for One Piece! This whole arc was 5 years long! But all this stuff happened in the entirety of One Punch Man in the span of over 2 months. I remember 10 days time jump from building the new HQ. Yeah, 10 days time. I honestly feel like everything that transpired for the whole entire Monsters Association arc occurred within a week. That's how I feel. Within a week or even less than that. Because for everything to happen, it had to be maybe a couple of days. Because there's so many things that happen where multiple days have passed. And Genos is saying that it's been over 2 months since I was Saitama's pupil. I honestly believe that all the stuff that happened with the Monsters Association occurred within a week. If not a week and maybe some days. But even then, that's still a stretch because there's just so much that happened ever since the series started all the way up until right now. There's so much that has to be jam-packed within 2 solid months. So honestly, I feel like everything that happened from the Monsters Association either occurred within a full week or maybe even a couple of days. And it was just like rapid fire, one thing after the other. Hopefully we'll get like an actual time frame of how long the Monsters Association arc took in universe. But man, that's crazy. It lasted longer than Wano by a year. Yeah, this is now the longest arc I've ever went through on this channel. Wano was long. But the Monsters Association arc for One Punch Man is longer than the entire arc of Wano? That's insane! Snow, good to see you. It's all good, don't worry, it'll be up so you get to see the beginning of it as well. I was thinking about it at least a couple of days because of Garo getting little broed by Saitama. Yeah, so, yeah, the whole thing that happened with the Monsters Association, from the moment the heroes arrived at their hideout, all the way until the end when Saitama beats Garo and everything settles down, a couple of days. If not everything occurring within 2 days. A couple of days. 2 or 3 days at most. 2 or 3 days at most. If not 2 days. If not a day. I would not be surprised if everything occurred in one singular day. Because it was around nighttime when it was around nighttime when Cosmic Fear Garo showed up and started to throw hands with Saitama. And it was in the daytime when everything was what if everything that happened when the heroes went to go assault the Monsters Association happened in a single day? Because we didn't see nighttime when we would cut back to outside while everyone was underground. All we saw was just everyone dealing with like the backup monsters up top along with the backup heroes, like the support team. And it was always daytime. But the only time we saw nighttime was when Psychos exploded from the top of the Heroes HQ after Tornado ripped it up from the ground, and that's when it started to turn to night. And that's when everything was said and done. That's when we got Cosmic Fear Garo and his fight with Saitama. I honestly feel like everything that happened from then on, everything that transpired was within a single day. And then the rest of the days after that was everyone building up HQ again and reconfiguring all these things, days and weeks going by of everyone recovering from it. But I honestly feel like everything that happened during that fight with everyone probably happened within a single day. And then ending at night with Saitama beating Garo. Yeah, I'm thinking that took place in a day. Crazy. Yes! Yes! Because think about it. The cleanup takes longer. The cleanup. Wiki has the timeline. It does. It does. It does. It does. Timeline, 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 timeline. Timeline of events! Awesome! Thank you. Okay. Okay. All right, so let's go down this list. Present series, 1 week later, 1 day. Okay, so present, when next day Saitama meets Genos. Let's go all the way down to the Monsters Association. All the way down to when they start fighting the Monsters Association. Wow. A lot of these things that were happening, such as Saitama and King are playing video games and Saitama destroying Elder Centipede, that happened within a single day. And then hours later after that, Child Emperor investigates the location of the Monsters Association hideout, and all these things, including Garo saves Tario from bullying, gets knocked out by Saitama. Garo battles Royal Ripper and Bug God. Hours. Okay, next day, Putty Putty Prisoner, Pig God, Super Alloy, Dark Shine, or Black Luster, Flashy Flash, Tornado, Atomic Samurai, Child Emperor, Zombie Man, and Sekengar, or, a My Mask, plan their attack on Monsters Association later. Minutes later, Garo and Tario encounter and escape Overgrown Rover. Hours later. Minutes later. Minutes later. Minutes later. Minutes later. Wow. So, approximate timeline of Saitama's promotions and all of that. So, yeah, I think I'm right. All the stuff. Can you put a link? By all means, please. I already found it, but by all means, go ahead and put it in there. So, I think my theory of everything happening within a single day for everyone fighting the monsters and the heroes fighting the monsters and everything that transpired during that entire time took a single day. Because minutes, every single major thing that's happening, such as Super Alloy, Black Luster, fighting all these different monsters, everyone fighting each other, Atomic Samurai fighting Spermatozoon and all of them fighting each other, Psychos being revealed, Genos gets incapacitated, Drive Knight joins Tatsumaki and fight against Merge, Psychos, and Orochi. All of this happened in a single day. Let's not forget that Saitama was bending time and space when he fought Garo. Yeah, all this that happened, the Monster Association thing that happened within a single day. And plus with Saitama bending time and space while he was fighting Garo, and then being able to travel back in time because he suddenly learned how to do it, all of that happened within a single day. That's insane. It's no wonder that the whole timeline of everything that's happening in One Punch Man took a little over 2 months. Over 2 months and all of this insanity happened. That's crazy. Current week is week 11. Because if we go down to the bottom, if we go down into the bottom, we see, it's only been 2 months since everything happened. It's only been 2 months. And when Blizzard visited Saitama was back in chapter 443. And chapter 43 was when Blizzard was trying to invite Saitama to join their group. And then when Saitama reached A rank, this was mentioned in chapter 173. And this is part of the Psychic Sisters arc. So, yeah, that just reinforces That just reinforces my theory that everything that happened in the Monsters Association assault was within a day. And then everything else was just like the fallout from it and everyone recuperating afterwards. Mere weeks, 2 months have passed since the beginning of this series. I can't get over that. But the real big takeaway from it, and we need to focus on that, is the fact that we now know the name of the organization that's been recruiting all of these heroes to their side. And Genos basically explains that they're taking all of the things that made the Heroes Association great, but doing everything they can to make sure that they don't repeat their mistakes. Because the Heroes Association, which was once built up to be, like the safeguard of the citizens and whatever, 4 years later after its formation, its dealings and its direction and its management have literally fallen from the public eye. And no one looks at the Heroes Association as the bastion of hope that they once had, because heroes that cause so much destruction and leaks about embezzlement and embezzlement of donations, among other scandals, including potentially the fact that they were keeping monsters underneath their own base to sell to other locations and black markets and everything. The dark side of the Heroes Association was, giving way to public opinion being at an all-time low. So now this new organization called Neo Heroes has been recruiting numerous people to their side so that they can actually, I guess it's already headhunted Heroes Association personnel and prepared anti-monster systems to go with excellent treatment of its members. It's already looking like it's trying to be better than the Heroes Association. I'm going to guess a bunch of A and B class heroes will go to the new Heroes Association, especially since they were tricked to guarding the wealthy. Yeah, because not everyone is behind the idea of, like, we're pretty much glorified bodyguards for the rich here. We're not really getting treated any more differently than we were than before the rich were here. Us living here is a perk, but it's not a really big perk, because all we are really here for is just to protect the rich and wealthy who pay for our living expenses. And I can imagine there's quite a few people who don't feel like it's worth their time. I mean, the dude from the Axe Gang, like the rollerblading group, he's the one that basically said, like, we're not interested in joining your Heroes Association because you guys only protect the rich. You don't protect the innocent. And it's not what we stand for. His entire group is deciding to go to the Neo Heroes as well, because the ideology of the Heroes Association is of that of, like, okay, you can be a hero, but a lot of people are really just there just for the fame and fortune. And if you're an S rank, you're pretty much treated a whole lot more better than literally everyone else. Even if you're A rank, that's one thing. But if you're B rank, you might as well be like a paid bodyguard for the rich and famous. And that's something a lot of people have a problem with, because some people went in there to be genuine heroes, but to be demoted to bodyguards for rich folks who are able to pay for housing at the Heroes Association, that can be a little bit of off-putting. Like, what happened? Because here's the thing. All these heroes are stationed at Heroes HQ. So when things happen outside of Heroes HQ, some S-rank heroes feel like it's beneath them to go out there and protect the innocent. Like, sure, you got B-rank heroes and heroes underneath that are willing to do that. That's them genuinely wanting to help people out. But then you have the heroes who are stuck at Heroes Association's HQ, where their only job is to protect the people who are paying for the lights to still be on there. They don't get sent off to take care of petty stuff that's in the city, because for some, it's beneath them. And for some, it's like, well, I'm here to protect the rich and famous. The other people, they can find out how to survive on their own. So a lot of people could see this as being as disingenuous to be a hero, because all you're doing is just protecting people who are able to pay for the protection. And that can already be off-putting for a lot of people who want to be heroes and join the Heroes Association, because some actually genuinely want to protect the innocent and protect people, not just the people who pay the most. They're not mercenaries. Although when you think about it, they're kind of mercenaries. When you think about it, they're just heroic mercenaries. They're sent out to take care of They're sent out on jobs to take care of monsters and do whatever, but only if it's high profile. And then when they come back, that's when they get paid, they get shower in accolades, and then they wait for them to be sent off to another assignment if it's worth their time. And we got wild cards like Dr. Beaufoy, who we all know is shady beyond all belief, because this man is by far one of the shadiest individuals that works with the Heroes Association. He's like Vegapunk, but his morals are in the reverse direction. So there's far too many things that are going on with the Heroes Association that points to like, hey, I want to join this organization. I mean, look at McCoy. This dude had no problem keeping the status quo as it was. Even, remember, and I went through this when I was doing my One Punch Man read-through. He's the very same dude that says like, well, if the police officers beg us to help them, then I suppose we can help them out. Right when the police officers, who Saitama happened to help out, were threatened to being killed by this one random monster that was going after them, McCoy was okay with these police officers being killed. He was willing to wager the life of these police officers who really just want to be officers to protect people over them being over their dignity. If they beg for our help, we can help. I suppose we can give them a hand. But if they don't, then oh well. Those are the people who are in charge at the Heroes Association. And I imagine that's the reason why a lot of people are leaving to join Neo Heroes. Now the question is, what is the true end goal of Neo Heroes? Because it sounds nice. It really does. Genos describes it, and it sounds really nice. It sounds very nice that this new organization truly wants to treat its heroes with respect and give them genuine perks and provide help and actually be a force for good and yada yada yada. The song and dance sounds really nice, but there is always an ulterior motive. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. And this Neo Heroes thing, it sounds too good to be true. A Heroes Association that truly wants to treat its members with respect and actually want to protect people. It's in a world such as One Punch Man, it just sounds too good. Could imagine Tim Curry or John Hurt, if he was still around, playing Beaufoy. I wonder how Tim Curry is doing. The last time I saw of him, like especially a picture of Tim Curry, he was like confined to a wheelchair. But I haven't seen much of Tim Curry ever since then. I wonder if he's doing all right. But that's going on. Also, we have that short moment where Genos decides to fight Saitama, and he's dismayed after showing an enormous boost in power ever since his last skirmish with Saitama when they were sparring with each other, that he, like Saitama, destroys an entire mountain range behind him with like an almost hitting Saitama like punch towards the face. But Saitama was kind of blinded by his lightning nucleus. That Genos pretty much took it as like, wow, he didn't even look at me, so that means that I'm not worth watching. But it's really, no, you were just so bright that Saitama's eyes had to close because you were just that bright. So Genos honestly feels like he's inadequate. After all this time he spent with Saitama, he feels like he's not worthy to serve alongside his master. All this time he's been dedicating to becoming stronger, and he honestly thinks that Saitama doesn't see him as strong. Whereas Saitama really doesn't get hung up on stuff like that, when you think about it. And he tries to sound intelligent about it, but in the process, it also causes Genos to feel even more down about himself. But that's not the real point that Saitama's trying to make, because Saitama's just trying to say something clever, and he's not even really paying attention to what he's saying and how it affects Genos. Like I said, Saitama is horrible at reading the room or, taking notice of social cues. So he really doesn't understand where Genos is coming from, so he's just saying what pops into his head and hoping that it sticks. So that's a whole matter going on. And he's thinking like, oh, this sounds nice. Maybe I'll go. I've been thinking about joining them. And he's asking if Saitama wants to join. Saitama says like, nah, sounds like a hassle. I'll pass. So Genos all like, fine, then I'll pass too. Because he still wants to stay with his master. To the point where even when Saitama says that the room he's staying in is not big enough for the both of them, Genos still wants to stay with him. But Saitama's trying to get rid of him so he can have a place to himself. Genos and Saitama need to have a night out at the bar. I mean, the last time we saw them was when they were eating in a restaurant. But that was so long ago. I think the last time we saw, he can't read people in general. Yeah. He can't read people in general. This man can dodge bullets. This man can avoid attacks from people who can move faster than human thought. This man is capable of walking across the surface of different planets, literally ripping planets apart, literally farting so fast that he can travel through portals, punch so powerful that he can go through time, but he is incapable of reading the room or paying attention to, or being able to notice body language at all so that he can, read people and understand situations that's going on. This man is strong and beyond the level of superhuman in everything except mentally. At least when it comes to understanding people. His empathy is I want to say at least a 5, while everything about him is infinite. But his empathy is like really low for him to be able to read people. He's not so devoid of emotion that he doesn't operate as a human being. It's just that he's kind of not that good at operating as a human being. One of the best advice Saitama gave was to his enemy Garo. Yeah, and that was the person he was fighting. To Genos, he can't even come up with anything smart to say towards Genos to make him feel better. And that's been on a regular basis. Literally all those inspirational speeches that Saitama says most of the time comes from video games he's seen. Only very few times does he actually say something genuinely heartfelt and genuinely advisable, such as towards Terrible Tornado and Hellish Blizzard. And to some degree, Genos during the beginning, but he hasn't been able to keep up with that back then. And also to King, but that still needs some help sticking. But that's the end of today's chapter of One Punch Man. It's quite interesting. Hopefully we'll see more and more about this Neo Heroes and see what they're really about. Because I honestly feel like as nice as this organization sounds, there's something else. There always is. There's no incorruptible source of good in the world of One Punch Man. I mean, even Saitama's not immune to it. He's a quick offender of dining and dashing. I mean, he did that several times. So many times. There's so many times where Saitama displays depravity. Even though he's like a hero, there's so many times. So there's no pure force for good in this series, which is why I'm very skeptical about these Neo Heroes. But we'll see how things go on in the next chapter whenever we get it. This was a great stream. Well, thank you, Ogata. It's not as long as my One Piece stream, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. And I enjoyed this chapter, but I'm curious. So the big takeaways from this: Genos displays the same type of punch that Saitama had, though I doubt it's of his level because Saitama was holding back. And he destroys a whole mountain range. He talks about Neo Heroes and what they're all about. And that's basically it. Yeah, we find out a little bit more about Neo Heroes. I feel like they have another agenda. This has been me ever since they were first introduced. I'm so skeptical about Neo Heroes. So hopefully we'll find out more about them, see who's in charge, and just from the first introduction of this character, we'll be able to tell whether there's something shady going on or if this person's actually genuine. The moment we see this character, we'll be able to tell. The moment we see the character who's in charge of the Neo Heroes, we'll be able to tell. But we're going to have to wait because, well, it's anyone's guess when we're going to get another chapter of One Punch Man. But I'm done, ladies and gentlemen, for today. We will continue with the next volume of One Piece, and then we'll continue with Final Fantasy XVI and continue playing through that whole series tomorrow. Not this evening, because I got church later this evening. But to everyone, all I can say at the end of the day is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you enjoyed what you saw here today, then please like, subscribe, and share the stream with everyone you know, because the more the merrier. And because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day. Once again, as always, later, peoples.